Hello everyone, how's it going? So tonight I am doing a strawberry. I know it's a little bit hard to see, but we've got a little bit of a flower, some leaves on there, and then of course the berry part. I am going to get a little bit more into an intermediate with painting this than basic. We are going to do a little bit of shading, but I don't think it's anything too hard that you're not going to be able to handle. I probably will freehand the polka dots on this tonight and show you a technique instead of using the daubers. So anyways, while you guys are popping in, I'm also going to show you what paint we'll be using. I may add some more, but you know how I go. So of course, white and black. We're going to use for the green leaves, parsley, and then palmetto, I don't know. I never can say it right. This is the light green that we'll shade probably with. I'm going to use a little bit of hydrangea pink for shading of the flower. The flower center, we're going to use crocus yellow. And for the berry itself, we'll use fire red. These are all Delta paints. And I thought we would just add some white and lighten it up to do the other part. I am going to just use a foam plate tonight because we are doing a lot of shading with this one. So it's a little bit easier to just have that foam plate to work off of. So with that being said, let's go ahead and throw in the red. All right. Okay, I'm not seeing comments popping in, you guys, so I'm going to hurry and pull you guys up on my phone real quick because you guys never know what Facebook's doing, and I'd hate to be missing your comments. Okay, yep. So you guys are commenting and I'm not seeing nothing. Okay. So hey Trish and Debbie, how are you? Hey, hey, hey. Okay, let me flip down for you guys. Okay, so there we go. All right, my voice is coming in through my phone. Okay, fire red. I'll probably have to add more. Hey Cheryl, how are you? I'm going to use the big brush tonight for the red part. I'm going to use a 3/4 inch brush, angle brush. So I'm just going to curve around these leaves. And like I've said before, I kind of like doing the difficult area first. Kind of like how we were a kid and painting with the coloring book, how we went around the edges, made sure our edges looked nice, and then kind of scribbled the rest. Same kind of concept with painting. So right here. So how's everybody? How was your guys this weekend? Did you guys do anything fun? We kind of just stayed around the house. I did check out a lumber yard and I got to call them tomorrow. They didn't get back with me, but I'm praying that we can get the wood that I like the most here. I haven't had the best of luck trying to find it, so praying everything will work out. This one lumber yard, so I'm pretty confident though. So now, like I said, we're just going to smooth out our stroke lines and basically scribble with the paint. Get that paint on there. Be a little bit careful right through here. There we go. Same thing again. We met a really good neighbor next door to us, and we've just really developed a quick friendship. I'm really excited. They're actually moving out, but their house is going to be like maybe 5 minutes from our new house. So I'm super excited for that. Because it's always hard when you move somewhere new and you don't know anyone. So it's good to have connections, right? Hey Carol, how are you? All right, ladies, I am just going around the edge real quick. Just doing a cute little line. My edges do look a little bit darker from the rest of the painting just because that laser does scorch, burn, whatever you want to call it, the edge. Shh, girls. Girls are finishing up their dinner, so they were told shh. But you guys all know how things are around here. It's been a little difficult with space issues, so. All right, we're gonna let that dry for just a minute. I am going to go ahead and just mix some red right here. Probably mixed way too much. Here, let me throw a little bit over there. And we'll do some white. I'm gonna just mix it with the back of my brush. And this is the one that we're gonna use. This color right here we'll use for our circles. Or polka dots, whatever you want to call it. Yep, I think that will work. Okay. So let me hit this just for a second with the heat gun, you guys. I'm really sorry. Drop my clip. Okay, so grabbing the red just a little bit more again. I got way too much paint on my brush there. We'll just use this and smooth it out. Sorry, you guys. Dishes are being a little loud.
Sorry. I know how I feel.
All right. Just smoothing that out, getting a nice coat. That first red coat kind of comes in sometimes a little blotchy, and you can kind of see some stroke lines when you dry it. But the second coat always is the good coat.
I'm running over to help Taff. I'll be back.
Okay. So just smoothing this out real quick here. There we go. All right, what I'm going to do is I am just gonna grab a little bit of the pink here, a little bit of that red, kind of ombre it a little bit, and we're just going to give a slight shimmer to our strawberry edge, just to kind of pull in that pink. I don't know if you guys can see it because it's wet and it might be glaring, but on my end you can see it a little bit. All right, let me clean out my brush real quick. Okay. right, I'm still going to use that 3/4 angle brush. All right, we're going to grab our pink here. Just get a nice loaded amount on our brush. And like right here, let's go ahead and we're going to just make a nice little swoop. And add that first little pink in. Maybe. There we go. Okay. So our next one, let's go about right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my brush, twirl it with my fingers, then come about on the other side and twirl it the other way. That's going to make a pretty good round circle. Kind of come back through, clean it up just a little bit, doing that same, almost that same thing, but kind of picking up our brush a little bit. Okay, same thing again, we're going to do our little triangles. So about right here, we'll go with another one. Okay. Sorry guys, the dogs are outside, but they're barking. They get crazy, I'll throw them in the garage. Okay, so next one, we're going to do another triangle about right here. Okay, clean this up just a little. There we go. Load our brush again. We're going to go about right here, I think is a good spot for our next one. Now this way of doing it is not going to give you the most symmetrical circles, but I think they're really fun. You do get, I feel like you get a little bit more control with your paint a little bit more than using the daubers. Because, you know, like I had said before, the daubers sometimes can leave a bumpy sponge residue kind of look to it, where this is going to give you more of a flat look. Okay, so we've got our triangle, so I think about right here for the next triangle will look good. Hi Julie, how are you, hon? Thanks for joining us in the paint class tonight. All right, guys. Load it again. So from here, we should have a triangle about right here. If we went around, that would be hidden by the leaf. So I'm going to use this as my finger. And then we're going to have triangle, triangle. So about right here would be the next triangle with our polka dot pattern. Another way you could visualize is using your fingers and kind of making an arrow with your fingers. That you could also see for your points. So then we got one right here, one right there. So it's still kind of come out right here. We got one. We could maybe squeeze. No, I don't really want one right there. Let's see. That one would kind of land up right about here. And we'd have another one. So I'm thinking we are good with these. I do have a little bit of buildup on this one that I'm not really liking. So I'm going to clean that up just a little bit. There we go. So you can see that. I did paint this on the red paint, so I was being a little bit careful, but I think we got it. And then I think I'm going to do, let's see, never mind. We're liking that. I'm going to leave it alone. However, let's save some of our red, since we're done with that red. And this was fire red that I used. The lighter pink is that fire red, but I just mixed it with a little bit of white to give that color. Hey Tori, how are you, sweetie? Girl, you would be so proud of me. Tori is my coach on helping me with Procreate. I'm gonna have to send you some of the stuff I've been doing. I've been so excited. Where do I get my wood cutouts? Good question, Julie. I make my wood cutouts. So I draw my own ideas and then I program them into my machine. I have a laser cutter now and my laser cuts these out, and so you can purchase the cutouts from me, or in the comments there is my template and you can cut it out yourself if you're good with jigsaws or a bandsaw or any of that kind of stuff. Excuse me, I do have a tutorial, I believe, in the Kajabi that shows you all of that as well. So, yeah, I think that's a really, you can do it yourself. Like I said, you just print it out. You can go to Black Poster if you want it bigger or smaller, any of that kind of stuff. But yeah, the link is included in the in the main part there. So, excuse me. Oh my gosh. Rachel, don't get on a coughing fit tonight. Okay, I am going to use the Hydrangea Pink. It's a really light pink. Hey, Teresa Reed, how are you, honey? Whoa, whoa, whoa. We have paint. Shoot now. Okay, I don't need a lot of paint, so we're gonna kind of just use what squirted out of the bottle here. There we go. Okay. I'm going to throw just a little bit of white down. There we go. And I'm going to use this brush right here that I grabbed. I don't know even what I grabbed. I grabbed a 3/8 of an inch angle brush for this one, so the smaller. I am going to just do a quick coat, an extra coat of white. I do like to prime my wood cutouts. I just believe that it makes your project a little bit bolder with your paint. So that's why I like to always put a base coat of white down. When you do get my templates, they are just the natural green wood underneath. So like that. They look like that with the etch lines in it. Hi, Diane. Julie, my website is not listed, but it is Rach's Crafty Corner on Etsy. Or you can send me a private message and I can give you that link as well. The strawberry is not listed, but I can get it listed ASAP for you. I usually take a picture and list the painted version and the blank version together. So when I do it, but I will teach every day here in Retherapy. I teach every Monday on Retherapy at 6:30 Eastern Standard Time. I'm one of the designers for Lori. Okay, so now that we got that base coat down, what I'm going to do is we're going to ombre. I am just going to get a little bit of water kind of going on my brush. We're going to pick up a little bit of the pink here on the tip of the brush, if you can see that, right there. And then on the back end, we're going to grab the white. We're going to kind of go back and forth, get a nice shadowing effect, if you can see that on my plate. Let's see, woo, there we are. There we go. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go to the tip of the flowers and just pull in just a little bit of this pink. I think we want a little more white. There we go. you, Julie. Hey, Linda, how are you? Hey, Dawn. Okay, one more time, right here. Just smooth that out. All right. Okay, I'm having a little bit of trouble, which I want to show you. If you can see, you see how it's kind of not so smooth on that edge? It's just the brush and the paint are just kind of catching. So if you just add a little bit of water, it will smooth that out for you guys. So if you're seeing that little catching and it kind of looks like a dragging mark, all you have to do is just come in with just a little bit of water and it smooths it right out. Kind of almost like you're water painting. We're going to go right here, do that same thing with our flower. So I'm just going to get some pink, some white. I might need to grab just a little bit more white. All right. Go back and forth motion, get a nice little ombre going on your brush. Just like so. And nice and smooth. This one again, we're gonna just go right around. We didn't meet up too good. My wrist didn't want to move. So now we have our little flower. So we've got some nice little shading going on with it. If we wanted to, which we're gonna, just because I think it will be fun, I'm just gonna do little swooshies for that little center petal. So what I'm doing is I'm taking my brush and dragging it straight, oop, see if I can do it this way. So I'm gonna take it and go straight across, like that. I exaggerated that motion just a little bit for you guys, but you're getting what I'm meaning, hopefully. Totally understand. Hey, Miss Johnny. How are you, hon? Okay. For our center, we're going to use crocus yellow. And I am just going to use this right straight out of the jar because we're not going to blend it or do anything crazy. We're just going straight with it. So I'm just going to take this. And this yellow, you guys, is usually a one and done. So kind of almost that same thing that we were doing with the polka dots here. Just making around with my paintbrush here. So I'm just taking my brush and going swoosh like that. Just going like this with my fingers, changing directions, going the other way. If I need to change positions with my sign, just move it a little bit. Don't hurt your wrist to paint, just move your sign. Okay, so I'm going to leave that alone. Oh, you guys, this is turning out so cute. I'm excited. I still don't understand why I'm not catching any of your guys' comments on the live part. But hey, at least I have my phone. And you guys, look. I know this is silly because everybody probably has these. But I'm going to show you anyways. I was super excited. I got this from the dollar store and it just holds your phone up for you. Isn't that cute? Little kickstand for your phone. Holds it up straight. Because you know when you turn it sideways, you lose your comments. So, anywho, I was super excited. And for $1, y'all, you guys know me. I love the dollar store. Okay. Now on my paint here, we're gonna go with parsley. Woo, my paint is wanting to spit tonight. Okay, grab that. I'm gonna just stay with that 3/8 angle again. Okay, and these brushes I'm using tonight, I think they're the plaid ones. Yep, they're the plaid ones. They come from Walmart. They're nothing special. Okay, so to keep my hand from hitting the paint over here, I'm gonna work off to the sides and then we'll come back in. So I'm just using this parsley green that we got going on here. The next question I believe I get asked a lot, so let's see if I can answer it, is where do I find my Delta paint at? Some better selections, Joann's have it. I now have to say that because not all Joann's are created equal, I learned. When I lived in Chicago, just what, a month ago? A month and a half ago, they had an amazing paint selection. The one out here close to me, not so much. So I have now had to start shopping at Hobby Lobby for the paint, for Delta paint, but my Hobby Lobby here has an excellent selection of it. So there you can get it, and Target carries the Delta paint as well. So just a little FYI for y'all of where you can find it. Now if you're starting out and you're just kind of wanting to learn to paint and not want to spend a ton, these paint bottles run about $1 on sale to $1.60. I think that's the most I've seen them at. You can also buy them online through Plaid website or other retailers, and you can get them there. I would definitely try and avoid Amazon a little bit. They tend to be a little bit more money, but you can use Apple Barrel there. I just don't prefer Apple Barrel for all of my paints because I tend to think that Apple Barrel, you're going to put on a ton of coats, get super frustrated with painting, and then probably throw your job away. So that is why I don't suggest Apple Barrel. I do have Apple Barrel colors that I do like. I'm not going to say dislike them, but a lot of their products run a little bit runny and wet, and you have to use a lot of coats of paint, which I am a one and done kind of person. 2 coats, kind of my max of what I really want to do. So if you know, but it's all in your budget. Apple Barrel is not bad to learn with, and even just see if you like it and get a small little investment in it. Their paints usually, I think at Walmart, run about 50 cents a bottle. So it's all on you. I do like Deco Art Americana. It's about the same price as Deco Art paint. I believe it is the exact same price, but I just prefer my Delta paint. But there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, I use both. But everybody tends to ask me what my favorite is, so that's what I go with. You'll let me do the painting? Oh, Johnny, you're so funny. You crack me up, cutie. Okay, I am just smoothing out this edge here. Let me turn this. I'm trying to be a little bit careful because some of these polka dots are still just a little bit wet. Okay, so I'm just taking that corner, curling it up. I'm gonna go right around this petal, clean that edge up. Well, maybe. Hold on. I kind of bumped that and made that pillow look a little funny, so we're going to clean that up a little bit more. There we go. Okay. So, as you can see, parsley is definitely going to need one more coat. How I'll show you, hopefully it will show on camera, you can kind of see some patchiness around there. That's when you're going to know you need one more coat. You can see with the yellow, no patchiness, and that's that one coat. One coat and done. Hey Carol, I loved seeing all the pictures from the wedding. You survived. Just throwing a little bit of heat on here, guys. Ooh, and I need to paint my edges on this green here. You guys, should I do the stem green or should I do it brown? Hey, Case. Yes, you survived. How are you, Casey? All right, so I'm just smoothing out these petals real quick here. Hey Teresa, how are you, hon? Tired, you could sleep for days. I am sure. Taking care of a hubby that's broken, I get you, sweetheart. My heart goes to you. Some memories popped up of Brian, like, because he just barely had started walking from when he had his accident a couple of years ago, and I was like, oh, Case. It is not easy being a caretaker, a business owner, and a mommy. Have you guys seen all of the Teresa's cute ribbon that she got in? And her cute hubby Cloyd, that goes on and like shows her cute ribbon. I'm like, he is just the cutest. I love your hubby. You're getting ready for your life? What you making? All right, so I'm just laying down that second coat, and before I forget, we're gonna hurry. Oh, I guess I did. Oh, I painted this side, guys, but I didn't paint the other side. So let me get this other side real quick. Should I do the stem green, you guys, or should I do it brown? What do you think? Green or brown? This little stem up here. Can't quite decide. Oh, fun. I love back the blue. You know that's where my heart is. Green? Okay. Easy peasy, you guys. You're making it easy on me tonight. All right, Linda. Green it is. I used to be a police officer, so that is why I said that's where my heart is. I left the force in 2013. No, 14, sorry. It was a very hard decision, but one that I don't regret because it kept my family together. It's a hard career to have with family, and it wasn't easy with my girls, so. But I loved being an officer. Okay. Just throwing down really quick dry coat here. I tried to kind of make it a little bit extra thick right here, but I can see it popping through just a little bit. So we're just gonna run just a little more green right here. Woo, my hand is not steady tonight. Okay, green, we're gonna add just a little bit more. Hopefully it doesn't pop on me. Oh, my paint has been wanting to pop tonight. Okay, I'm just gonna add a little bit of green for the backing. We're gonna go with Palomino for the lighter green. And this is going to make some popping and shading looks. Whoa. See, I told you guys, my paint just wants to explode tonight. Okay, let me clean this brush just a little. All right. Okay, I am going to add some water onto my plate. Okay. All right, so we're gonna grab the lighter green on the tip, darker green in the back. So you can kind of see there how it looks. Oop, there we go. And then I'm just gonna grab a little dot of water and kind of find a spot right here. We'll do that just one more time. All right. Okay. Now what I'm gonna do is we're gonna just do a cute little swoop. And this is just going to give an extra pop and shading to those leaves that we just painted. We could have stopped and just added some detail lines and it would have been cute, but I think adding that shading really does make it pop and have some more fun with our painting. And I really don't think it's too complicated. I know I was super afraid of doing shading, and then I watched somebody do it and I was like, that's all you're doing? I can do that. So don't be afraid to try new things, is my biggest takeaway. Okay, we're just gonna curve right here. And shading is super forgiving. If you guys noticed, I stopped, went over, and it still made a really nice pretty line. The biggest thing is just to keep your brush wet. That's the biggest takeaway. That I can kind of give you is you don't want it like super wet, but you do want a nice, so it can flow nice and easy. If you have it too dry, you're going to start seeing that dragging motion where you can see that you're not steady and smooth with it. Just wet your brush just a little bit. And you don't really even need your clean water. I just use the paint water that I've been using with my paint brushes, and it does the trick, okay? All right, same thing here. You guys, poor Lori, keep her in your prayers, man. She is not feeling good. I was talking to her earlier this weekend and then today, and that poor tooth, she just does not look too happy. She said she was going to the dentist tomorrow, so hopefully she'll have some relief, right? Okay, so lovely, thank you, Louisa. Eloise, I always mess up your name, I'm sorry, hun. So I'm just going to take the ombre that we did, kind of curve and twirl a little bit here. And all I'm doing is just kind of making that leaf pattern here. Okay, what do we think? You guys liking that? I know it's hard to see the pink, but it really pops over here. Okay, now let's get some black going. I am going to just use one of my paint trays for this, and we'll do some detailing. So basically what we're doing is just adding our color book black lines back onto our project. I do like to always add a little bit of water to my black because I do think that it makes it move a little bit smoother, and I like to get a nice liner brush. That one's been kind of acting up on me, so let's see if I can find a different one. You kind of find a liner brush that you like, and then you just kind of always stick with it until all of a sudden it decides it doesn't want to play friends with you anymore. All right, maybe I will just use that one now that I can't find it. It's always how it goes. Let's see. Okay. I do like to let my brush, and I'm bad, you guys. I use my mouth, make it a nice point. I use that back end, swirl that around with the water. Get a rag here. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I can't decide. Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to leave the polka dots alone. I'm not going to mess with them. I'm not going to outline them this time. I know sometimes I do. Tonight, I just don't feel like it. So I'm going to add a little zigzag because you guys know how much I love my zigzags. Maybe we'll do an outline if my brush wants to cooperate. I'm thinking I need a new liner brush because it just doesn't want to play nice. Okay, we're getting a new liner brush because that one's driving me nuts already. Let's see, we'll grab this one. Okay. So as you can see, we really did not like that brush. That brush didn't like us, but it's okay. We're gonna fix it. We're gonna make it nice and smooth. Nobody's gonna know, like our TikTok. You're loving this one? Good. Glad you like this. So now we're just going to go straight this way. And the secret to outlining, y'all, is not really going straight to the edge. Going close to it. If you get off balance, it's okay. It's not going to be the end of the world. We're going to take this outline, go right around the leaf. Same right here. There we go. I'm just going to do a very thin line on those leaves right there. Ew, I should have done this one. Ooh, okay. Bless me. Let's see. Okay. You'll start learning when you paint yourself into corners how to avoid it. Okay, and then with these small lines, you're barely letting the tip of your brush touch. Another thing to do if you're really having a hard time keeping your hand is, if you saw, I painted on my arm, or I used my arm and my forearm to make that. That helps a lot too with keeping you a nice steady balance, okay? All right, let's go right here. And you know what? I think I'm gonna add a cute little zigzag there. The zigzags are kind of just a thing that I like to do. Some people just have a little signature something or another that they like to put on their painting just to grow more interest, whatever. I've seen people do little Z's, I've seen M's, little dots, whatever. A zigzag is just kind of the thing that I do, the little ziggy zag. I think maybe one more right here. It'll be cute. All right. Don't like how that end touched. There we go. And one more. Okay. Oh, y'all, I'm silly. Forgot to do the leaf here. There we go. Finished. And let's come in right here and we'll do our nice little flower. Just like so. Okay, one more right here. Okay, let's go right here with a cute little zigzag. And right, oops, we're getting a little drag. There we go. We'll do our stem. And the stem, I'm going to add just one little line right there, just to kind of give it a little more dimension. All right, let's throw some highlights on this. That's what I'm thinking too. When you do that highlighting, it really does make it pop out and have that more dimension going to it. Shading really does help. I know that it's a little intimidating, but shading is fun. I love to do the shading. Okay, so now I'm going to do just a little bit of white. We're going to just throw some cute little random swooshies on our strawberry here. Going to add just right over that zigzag. And the white does not have to touch in every little spot. We're just kind of, like I said, adding a little bit of highlight. Nothing too crazy. Same with the leaf. I'm going to do the centers first. And we'll kind of come out. Same thing here with the inside of that flower. Okay, just adding a little bit of white here. Maybe right there some. Go right there. And then where our zigzags are, I'll add just a little more. All right. Okay, highlighting is done. Kathy, you are fine. If you want to rewatch, not a problem. It will be shortly back on. All right, guys. So I'm thinking this cute neon pink glitter for the polka dots. What do you think? You guys liking that? That's what I had in my head. This neon pink actually came in Walmart's little kids section. They were like little tiny vials of it. I got 2 of them and added it in. I had extra little bottles. If you don't have extra bottles and you're wanting to get glitter, I found little travel bottles, little white travel bottles, like this, at the Dollar Tree, and these work great, just so you know. Love the pink glitter. Hey, Amanda. Yeah. Well, I can't wait for your order. I know, we gotta always have that spark, right? Oh, and you guys, this is what I was telling you about at the dollar store. These embossing, the embossing tool. You guys know how I always use this little daughter tool. This is that same thing for $1. I think my package of these were maybe $5, $6. So good way to start out if you're just wanting to try something. These are great at making those cute little dots for the eyes, all that kind of stuff. And then I picked these brushes up from the dollar store, and I think these will be perfect for the glitter tonight. This strawberry will be listed tomorrow, I promise, Amanda. If you want it, I will make sure that I get it nice and listed. Or, yeah, just send me a message. We'll make sure I get it listed. I know, it's cute. I am so excited with how it turned out. I kind of looked at a couple of images of how other people had painted their strawberries and kind of just rolled with it. I was not sure. Oh my gosh. Oops. Okay. We had a boo-boo. Mod Podge everywhere. And, oh, there's a baby wipe. I was going to say, and I'm out of baby wipes. No, we got some. Okay. Let me pick this up real quick. We don't want the glitter to attach there. Okay. Well, so far, this brush is not my friend. Okay. There we go. All right, we're going to start right here. Yeah, I'm not liking this brush. Never mind. These dollar store brushes, I don't like those ones. I'll go back to my crappy one. There we go. Much better. Okay. Hey, you win some, you lose some. You're only at $1, right? That was the first time I tried them. I opened the package and threw them in there just before I started my life. So, no bueno. I'm not friends with those ones. Okay. Let's throw this glitter on here. And we'll go to the next one. Now this glitter, you guys, it has some really fine and then just a little bit of some chunkier size in it, and I am just in love with it. I think it's so cute. I'm becoming a glitter addict though. Okay, let's throw some there. And you guys know I'm super heavy-handed with the glitter, but we'll just shake it off at the end, no biggie. I am using Mod Podge to add the glitter on. Right? I mean, I have found some good gems. I found my little my little phone stand, which has been awesome tonight because the comments are not showing up at all on my screen. And then what else did I find? Oh, the little embossing tool. That was a win. Oh, and the little travel bottles for the glitter. So, you know, 3 out of 4 on my shopping experience. We'll say okay. Yep, exactly. All right. I may need to. There we go. Okay. I'm going to shake that off. Okay, so we're going to see that. And you can see the white coming through. You can scratch that white off a little bit, and it will make it kind of show the white underneath a little bit better. Okay, let me slowly pour that in. There we go. Do these last 2 dots here. But you know, I love doing the dollar store because anything that you can do for cheap get cheap storage, whatever, I'm all game for. I saw that. Trish, the house is coming along really good. Last week was kind of a slow week. We had to wait for inspections. So not much got done. They, well, really nothing got done. Besides the inspection. I believe that we're clear on the inspection. We got a note from the home builder saying that they were going to start with insulation this week. We went out there this morning and they had dropped off our brick. So hopefully we'll get some brick going and we'll get the insulation this week. Fingers crossed. But thanks for asking. I've been so excited. Okay, I'm going to use this tool just to show you guys what I was meaning. So I'm going to go on this side where we had let the glitter kind of stay down a little bit longer, well, dry a little bit longer. So all I'm doing is I'm just kind of running it right where that white was. And it just kind of brings out the highlight a little bit more. Not that we're scratching or something off, but it just pulls the highlight, makes it look a little bit stronger, brighter, whatever you want to call it. So there we go. Woo woo. Okay, I will flip so you guys can see the other way. Here we go. Woohoo! Trish, thank you. I am so excited. Look at that glitter. Woo woo. Can you see? I love that. Adorable. Thank you guys. You guys are all so sweet. All right, Amanda, I will make sure I get this listed for you. But there we go. Thank you, thank you. Thanks, Linda. And then tomorrow, Lisa will be your next designer. She will be doing the sublimation at, I believe, 8 Eastern Standard Time. Thanks, Julie. So I will see you guys later on. Yes, I want to see your results. I love seeing your guys' results. Okay, well, I will see y'all later. Bye, guys.